How do you see the role of the teachers in Buddhist education?
Well, I think the important principle here is to practice what you preach and to be a good example. My own experience as a school student was that I tended to work a lot harder and to enjoy the lessons in which I respected, looked up to the teacher, and where the teacher had a real love of the subject they were teaching, and they had a love of teaching itself. And I think that we can easily overlook the fact that what we communicate when we teach is not restricted to the words we use, but perhaps the most important thing we communicate is who we are. And if teachers can see their own study and development of the Eightfold Path as an important factor in their life as teachers, and see it as absolutely a necessary part of it, and then they are communicating that through themselves, through who they are, then you have a foundation for Buddhist education. The idea of the teacher is in Buddhism is of the good friend, or we call the Kalyana Mitta, and that's someone who has particular qualities that nourish the student and create the right kind of environment for learning to take place. So the teacher is someone who has that warmth and kindness, and the extent that students enjoy being with them. They feel affection towards the teacher. They feel respect for the teacher. They feel the teacher is a good example to them. Teacher is someone who is patient with the children and their different personalities, learning styles, and the frustrations that can easily arise. Is someone who puts a lot of effort into finding skillful means of communicating with children, both verbal and non-verbal. A lot of effort into finding different ways of explaining things, the ways that will be most suited to the children, both as a group and as individuals. And is someone who whose presence in the child's life improves the quality of their life. The child should leave the school and say, I'm just so glad I knew that teacher. I'll never forget that teacher and what he or she did for me. Yeah, that's and I had teachers like that, and I'm sure you have, that you never forget. And I think it's wonderful profession, you know, that you can make your livelihood and to have a positive effect on people's lives, not just through the time where they're learning with you, but right throughout their whole careers and right until they have their own children and grandchildren as well. So the ideal of the teacher as the Kalyana Mitta, as the good friend, and that's not just a good friend to the children, but seeking to be a good friend to other teachers and to be good friends to the parents of the people. So we're trying to create this culture, if you like, of good friendship, a good friendship culture, and that's one which has a balance between the emotional side, which is characterized by kindness and metta, and then the intellectual side, which is this interest in learning and finding the truth and dwelling in truth. These are the two characteristics of the Kalyana Mitta culture, which we're seeking to model in a Buddhist school.